Coming up on Marriage Today with Jimmy and Karen.
When you invite God into a circumstance, you're not going to fight about it. And when God comes through and does a miracle, it's going to be a bonding experience in your marriage.
I think that's the key, because when you see answers to prayer, it really does build your confidence. And it's not so much about how or whatever. You know, to pray is how you develop a relationship with the Lord.
We're going to use an acronym here. It's INVEST. We're going to talk about the 4 areas of intimacy, and we're going to use an acronym, INVEST. Intimacy necessitates value, energy, sacrifice, and trust. That's the word invest. If we're going to be intimate, it means we must have value, energy, sacrifice, and trust. Let's begin with spiritual intimacy, creating spiritual intimacy. A sense of unity and mutual commitment to God's purpose for our lives and marriage, and a respect for the special dreams of each other's hearts. It's really the closest, the greatest depth of intimacy we experience in marriage. V, value. I value God's purpose for your life and the dreams of your heart. Now, a godly marriage is a win-win proposition. We both get there. As a man, I am called by God to nourish and cherish you as I would my own body. Those are agricultural words. The word nourish means to feed to maturity, and the word cherish means to keep warm, like a plant. A husband's role in the marriage is to be God's partner to bring his wife to her full potential of what God created in her mother's womb to become. Chauvinism is just simply the belief that men are more special, men are more important. You're here for me. You take care of me and my life means something. That's not a godly marriage. A godly marriage is 2 people created in God's image with calls on their lives, getting together, and we're a team to both get to our full potential in God, individually and together. I value the fact that you were created in your mother's womb to make a difference in this world, and I'm your dream maker, not your dream breaker. I'm God's partner to get you there. Number 2, energy. I commit to pursuing God personally and together to find and fulfill God's call on my life, your life, and our marriage. Now, we teach people how to do a vision retreat, and we have a resource that helps people to have a vision retreat. And what we encourage people to do is go away for 3 or 4 or 5 days every year, spend the mornings praying about your marriage, praying about your lives, your marriage, your children, your finances, every single area of your life. And it takes energy, and I'm talking about energy now, is spending the energy to pray together. Now, Karen and I pray together a lot. We've prayed together, thousands of times in our marriage, and we've had hundreds and hundreds of answered prayers. Let me say, you're either going to pray or you're going to worry. And spiritual intimacy, when you invite God into a circumstance, you're not going to fight about it. And when God comes through and does a miracle, it's going to be a bonding experience in your marriage. If you don't pray, you're going to fight. Philippians 4 says, don't be anxious for anything, but in everything, with prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God, and the peace that passes comprehension will guard your heart and your mind. The word guard there is the word phureo in the Greek. It means a military guard. When you pray about everything, you're not anxious for anything. We're not going to let anxiety and stress into our marriage. The answer is prayer. The answer is to trust someone greater than us. Matthew 18 says, if 2 on earth would agree together as touching anything they would ask, it will be done for them. That means a man and a woman. A man and a woman holding hands, praying about their children, praying about their job, praying about the finances, praying about anything. You have the ability to shake heaven simply through your prayers. If 2 on earth. And the peace of God that passes all comprehension, you shouldn't have this much peace going through what you're going through. But the reason that you have this peace is rather than fighting about it or separating over it, you prayed and you invited God into that circumstance, and now the spiritual bond between you gets even closer. You pray, you work at praying. You make sure that you're worshiping together, you're praying together, you're seeking God. Number 3, I sacrifice the desire to only promote myself or to worry about myself. In other words, we're each other's. God looked at Adam by himself, and God said it's not good that he's alone. You understand the devil never attacked Adam when he was by himself? And Adam was on the earth for a significant period of time by himself, because the Bible said he named every animal on earth before Eve was created. Let me tell you, that takes a while. I tried it once. They're still finding new species. And Adam named every species of animal on earth, and it says, and there was no one found comparable to him. And so God created woman. And then the devil attacked. The devil attacked because now Adam could get there. Eve was created to help Adam get there. Adam was created to help Eve get there. And both of us have to sacrifice our natural selfishness that we only care about ourselves. Number 4 is trust. I will create an atmosphere where you can share your deepest spiritual desires and dreams and know that they're honored by me. Okay? That I'll respect that I'll be careful with this. Now, this is an interesting thing. Research proves that our deepest fights are on a dream level. That when we're having our worst fights, we're on a dream level. An example is a person who dreams of financial security, like Karen. Karen dreams of financial security, not in a bad way, not in a materialistic way. I was her dream breaker because I did not value the finances the way she did. I was her dream breaker. I didn't understand that. Housework, to have an orderly, peaceful life. Some people, their dream is just to have a nice home and a home that's well cared for, but their spouse is not respectful of that. So you're not just being a slob, you're attacking a dream that your spouse has. Children. To have children who are a priority and feel loved by their parents. Some people grew up without both parents. Some people grew up in a broken home or a home where there was high dysfunction, and their dream is to have an orderly home where the children are valued by their parents. Not too highly, because the marriage has to come first. But you're never here, you don't take care of the kids, blah, 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 and so you're my dream breaker. One of Karen's dreams is living without a lot of stress. Because of what I've done for many years in the ministry, we had a tremendous amount of stress in our home when our kids were growing up. My schedule, the church, and I was pastoring a large church, and Marriage Today started, and there was a lot of stress. And Karen reacted to that. And Karen's an extremely hard worker. I mean, she is a very, very diligent person. I can handle stress, but she can't. And I say I can handle it. I don't handle it as well as I say I do, but I can handle it better than she can. But what I realized was that one of Karen's dreams is for us to have manageable lives that are not too stressed out. And so what I've done over the years is I've made her my partner with my schedule. And before I put a lot of things on my schedule, I sit down and talk to Karen and say, is this okay? Is this okay? We talk about my schedule, 2 or 3 times a week. And she'll say, yeah, I'm fine. Her not having that stress on her that me being busy and us being busy creates, that's one of her dreams. I was her dream breaker, now I'm her dream maker, because I care about the fact that that's super important to her. A lot of the fights that we have, we just don't realize we're touching each other's dream. It's not just an emotional level. It's not just a mental level. It's a spiritual level. There's something deep within my heart that cries out for this, and you're my dream breaker. And if we're going to have intimacy in our relationship, we've got to be each other's dream maker and listen and work at that. Number 4, this is the last one, physical intimacy. Feeling as though your partner's body is your place of pleasure and delight. Closely sharing physical needs and desires and giving yourself to physically serve your spouse. I'm going to go through the little acronym here. Intimacy necessitates value. I care about your physical needs. Energy. I commit my physical energies to meeting your needs. Let me read you a scripture here, interesting. 1 Corinthians 7:4, okay? It says, when you get married, you don't have authority over your own body, but your spouse does. That's not a license for abuse, it's a license for use. What the Apostle Paul is saying, this is profound now. He says, when you get married, your spouse has authority over your body to get their needs met. It's not a license for abuse now. But it means it's not your body anymore. It's your spouse's body. That's how profound the Bible is when it says they too shall become one flesh. Now, when you withhold your body from your spouse, it's devastating to the relationship. if I use it as a weapon, if I use it as a bargaining chip, whatever it is, if I withhold my body from you, it's going to be devastating to the relationship. Now, when people hear, when spouses hear that their body belongs to your spouse, men think different than women. Women think different than men. Men think sex. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And women don't think that. Women think service. Oh boy, he has to take the trash out. He has to fetch and tote. Oh boy, I get to tell him anything to do. So women were asked, when is your husband most sexually attractive to you? And in their response, they almost always say, when he's doing housework. My husband is most attractive to me when he's doing housework. Okay. This is your place of pleasure and delight. The word Eden means pleasure and delight. God made marriage to be a place of pleasure and delight. This is your place of pleasure and delight. And it means two things: service and affection. I will serve you with my body. Karen and I's marriage, and Karen's a servant and so am I. We just serve each other all day. You know, marriage is about being together. It's not about living separate lives on different sides of the house. It's about doing things together. So I'll be emptying the trash, she'll be taking care, she'll be cooking a meal, I'll fold the clothes, I'll do this, I'll do that. But Karen, 100 times, a day, Karen will say, hey, Jimmy, will you do this? Or Jimmy, will you do this? And I'll say to Karen, hey, would you mind doing this? Yeah, great. Why? Because we serve each other. I'm giving you my body, and that means it's your body for the sake of getting your needs met, whether it's affection or whether it is, service. I will sacrifice other desires and personal comfort to meet your needs. I'll come home tired from work, and I'll walk in the door, and, Karen will, and rather than Karen saying, you poor baby, go over there and sit down, I'll take care of you, Karen will say, I need this, 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 and this. And sometimes I'm just thinking, woman, I'm out, saving the world from sin, and you just need to, be careful how you treat the Lord's anointed. But I have to fold the clothes and take out the trash and do all that stuff, I will create an atmosphere where you can share any request of me physically and know that it will be honored and met. This is your body. This is your body. And if we're going to have intimacy, it means 4 levels: value, energy, sacrifice, and trust. I hope that teaching was a blessing to you. That is just really a small part of a full resource that we do called Return to Intimacy. It's all about intimacy. And in this resource, we talk about disarming destructive anger, disarming destructive fear, disarming destructive dominance, which affects so many marriages, and also the secrets of intimacy in marriage, how to understand just the issue of intimacy, because intimacy is the prize of marriage. We get married because we want to be intimate, but in almost all of our marriages, we struggle. We get into fights, and maybe there's division, or maybe there's drifting apart. And this is how you can build the marriage of your dreams and deal with problems that you're experiencing in your marriage. A full 4-part series. And right now, for your gift of any amount to support us here at Marriage Today, we're going to give you the full CD series, Return to Intimacy, 4-part. And also now for your gift of $90 or more, if you can just be generous with us and send your most generous gift right now to support the ministry here at Marriage Today, we'll send you the full DVD series, 4-part, Return to Intimacy, along with our 1 devotional book. The 1 devotional book is just a wonderful book to read by yourself or read together on your date night or as a couple to help you build the marriage of your dreams. You can succeed in marriage. You were made for marriage. God never creates anything to fail, but we just need the right information. This will help you. Here's how you can get this.
Support Marriage Today with your best gift and receive the series Return to Intimacy. In this series, you will discover how to keep intimacy thriving and growing, why fear causes us to react, and practical steps to resolving anger, conflict, and dominance.
When you devalue and reject the thoughts of your spouse, intimacy is out the window.
For your gift of any amount to support Marriage Today, you'll receive the entire Return to Intimacy series on CD. For your gift of $90 or more, you'll receive the series on DVD. We'll also include the one devotional book filled with 52 marriage-building devotions as a free bonus to the DVD teaching series.
The word intimacy means inner closeness. That's what it means. It means close on the inside.
Recapture closeness in your marriage like you've never experienced before. Whatever your situation, you can return to intimacy.
Good morning, everybody. How many people are excited to be at EXO 2016?
Did you know that the way that God designed it, you have a 100% chance of success in marriage? Regardless of how much drought you've had in your marriage or how dead it seems, just a little bit of sprinkle from God and your marriage is going to be resurrected.
Christian marriage is not an island. We cannot do life alone. We need each other. We need the EXO conference, if for any other reason, but to know that people are fighting for this thing just like you.
You say, well, Jimmy, I've made some mistakes. I've done a lot of things wrong. You don't know my past. Let me tell you what I do know. It's not about your past. It's about your future. And I want you to know, married or single, God made marriage and God made you for marriage. Well, this program is on spiritual and physical intimacy. Comes from our Return to Intimacy seminar. You just saw the resource there where we talk about anger, fear, dominance. And this program is on understanding the keys, Karen, to creating intimacy. And we talk about mental and emotional, but this is also on spiritual and physical, really to have intimacy in every level of our relationship. Now, we've got some questions from some of our viewers, and the first one's for you. And this viewer, Karen, says, Karen, I hate doing housework, but if I don't do it, it won't get done. How can I get my husband to help more around the house? That's from Jackie in California. Okay, so what's your secret?
Well, first of all, when we first got married, you taught me how to clean house. But now that I've been taught, I actually love to clean the house. I mean, I'm so grateful that I like it. But if I didn't like it, I would feel like she does. Sure. You know, I would want you to be helping me, and you do. I mean, you're a great help around the house. And so, you know, again, we can't compartmentalize things in our marriage. Well, this is yours and this is, you know, we should be a part of everything that each other does. And so, you know, yes, I understand he may work and, you know, he comes from work and he doesn't feel like doing housework, you know, so pick a different thing or a different time for something that he can do and, you know, and communicate in a way that says, you know, you do such a great job at this, and I like it better when you do it than I do it. You know, I think that's one of the things I did with you. I said, you know, the way you load that dishwasher is the best I've ever seen. You know, and it's like, and no one vacuums like you, no one. And so, and,
Really, it's true.
I mean, it's true. And so, you know,
Men love honor.
Yeah, and so, you know, find a way to make them feel good about, you know, what you're doing, because you know, housework can be drudgery for anybody, you know, so make it something that's, you know, just part of everyday life. This is what we're going to do. And, you know, just make it something more enjoyable for both of you, even if you do hate it, because it can be fun.
Well, and this is something that's interesting, and I completely agree with what you just said. That's perfect. Women are asked in polls, when is your husband most sexually attractive to you? And they always answer, one of their top answers is...
I can answer.
I know. No, one of their top answers is when he's doing housework.
I know, but see, this is how you learned it.
Well.
You learned how to say that because you saw how true it was.
Well,
when we first got married and you started doing the housework, it's like, oh my gosh, let's go to the bedroom.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. So this...
I think I'm embarrassed myself.
This lady's saying, how do I get my husband to do housework? Just say to your husband, honey, I just feel so romantic when I see you doing housework.
Exactly.
You know, and
You're such a turn on.
Well, you know, there's a benefit in there for you. Now, but also, let me say something to the husband here, because we're talking about intimacy. Okay, my body, in the teaching I talked about, my body is your place of pleasure and delight. God created marriage in Eden. and Eden means pleasure and delight. Okay, and so physical intimacy happens when we share bodies. Okay, well, for men, when we think about my wife's body belongs to me, it's like, yay, yay, God. And it's sex. We think about sex. But when women think about their husband's body, they're thinking chores. You're going to bear burdens for me.
Well, not just chores. Open the door, be a gentleman.
Exactly.
Take care of the kids.
Well, but the point being is that men need to understand how important this is to your wife, and understand when you get home from work, your occupation ended, but your job just started at home. And it's wrong to put the burden of housework over on your wife. It's like with me, I do help you around the house, and I'm a very busy man, but I do it because I love you, and I do it because I know it's helpful for you, and I don't want you to have to bear that burden alone. So men need to understand the importance of this. You say, well, my wife, I'm just not getting the response that I want from my wife. Do the dishes and take care of the kids and help around the house, and you'd be surprised what the payoff is there. Okay, so you read your question.
Okay, this says, I opened my dream business and my wife supported the decision, but now she complains I spend too much time at work. I'm frustrated.
Well, he opened his dream business, and I hope that she agrees with that, that, it's both of their dream, not just his. But she says, that you're spending too much time at work. Doesn't matter if it's your dream business. Your family comes first. And when I first started in ministry, Karen, I worked too much. And what I do in ministry is obviously a very important thing. But it came before our family, and you complained, rightly so. And you were fighting for the integrity of our relationship, and you were fighting for my heart. And see, Jesus said, wherever your treasure is, there will your heart be also. The word treasure there is thesaurus. It means where you're investing yourself. Where you're investing yourself, your passion goes there. So see, if he's investing himself more in the business than he is in his home, it means his passion is in that business rather than being in the home. So she's fighting for his heart because the first of his passion and the first of his energies needs to be invested there in the home. So Stan, I hope your business does well, but listen to your wife. She's fighting for the integrity of the relationship. Now, we have more program coming up, but watch this. I hope you're enjoying today's program. In our society, marriage is under attack, and we all know that. Family is under attack. But here at Marriage Today, we believe that the power of God is greater than any other power. And we believe that the power of God's Word is more powerful than any lie or deception that can be told. And many people who are failing in marriage, they're not evil people. They just don't know any better. And we love to go into people's homes across America, around the world, with this message of hope for marriage and family. And I hope that you've been helped by this, but we can only do this because of our financial supporters. And I'm asking you right now, if you've been touched by our ministry, if you believe in the mission of what we're doing is holding families together, helping people build successful marriages and families, I'm asking you to give your most generous gift that you can. The information is there on your screen of how you can call or send your gift in the mail, or also go on our secure website and give. And you can also become a monthly partner and get a special resource only our partners receive. Here's more information on how you can do that.
When you stand with Marriage Today, your individual effort multiplies with other like-minded partners. And together, we can rebuild the dream of marriage for couples around the world. Being a rock-solid partner with Marriage Today grants you immediate access to an exclusive library of the ministry's resources and intimately connects you with our mission of helping couples succeed in marriage.
That's really why we became rock-solid partners, just because there was so much available to help us to help other marriages heal the way that we have.
That's why we're tied into the ministry. We want to be able to bless and give so they can keep doing what they're doing.
You're guaranteed if you listen to any of the resources, you read the resources, you come to a conference, you will be changed.
Everyone has something to give, and there are millions of unreached couples who desperately need the marriage-strengthening resources of Marriage Today. That's why we need you to join us. Become a rock-solid partner with the ministry and mission of Marriage Today.
We're talking about the subject of intimacy. This program is talking about physical and spiritual intimacy, But Karen, the resource, we do a seminar called Return to Intimacy. And we're just talking about things that can inhibit intimacy in our marriages and how to remove those things. And we have one more question from one of our viewers that I want to read to you, because you're really good at answering these kind of questions. Karen, my husband doesn't like to pray in front of other people, even before meals. How can I give him the confidence that he needs? That's from Susie in North Carolina.
Well, you and I kind of went through this, where it was easier for me to say, let's pray, or can we pray? And you were always, it was always hard for you. I think most men start out this way.
I think so.
And so, the best way to me personally that I can see even now looking back on you and I, that, bring him into your world for issues that you're going through. And say, honey, I just need to talk to you about some stuff I'm struggling with, and I just want to pray about it. And just pray, alone, just the two of you. And just say, could you pray for me? Get him more comfortable in the intimacy of just the two of you.
I agree.
And it'll start, building his confidence, and especially when he starts seeing answers to prayer. I think that's the key, because when you see answers to prayer, it really does build your confidence that says, oh my gosh, prayer is a big deal. And it's not so much about how or whatever. And then where his relationship with the Lord is huge. To pray is how you develop a relationship with the Lord. And so, it's the key to that relationship growing, and so maybe he needs to get into a Bible study where he is around other men or other couples that, pray, and he hears other men pray. Maybe he just needs to be around more of that influence, which I think would help him a lot. And I just remember when you started praying, it just brought something into the family that was so needed, and such a covering of security for all of us. And I think it's just so important to not diminish the fact that when men pray, it's a really important thing in the family.
Well, I was fearful
Yeah.
of praying. I was embarrassed to pray. Just like this man, she's talking about him. We got married, and I had just received Christ, and we went to the Sunday school class, and we were in about 20 couples in the Sunday school class. And out of nowhere, I'd been saved maybe a month, and the Sunday school teacher said, Jimmy, would you lead us in prayer? I just stopped cussing 3 weeks ago. I had
Barely.
I had never prayed in my entire life. It terrified me, but exactly what you said is right. Start, crawl, walk, run. Start by praying together. Once he gets good at doing that, he'll feel better about praying public. Sorry, we're out of time. We hope that this program's been a blessing to you. See you next time. Goodbye.
Thank you for watching Marriage Today with Jimmy and Karen. Support Marriage Today with your best gift and receive the series Return to Intimacy.
Don't miss the XO Houston Marriage Conference with Jimmy and Karen Evans, October 15th, 2016, live at Grace Community Church in Houston, Texas. Register online at MarriageToday.com/events.
Start a path to emotional health and healing with daily videos, devotionals, and personal challenges from Jimmy Evans. Available now at 21dayjourney.com. Become a rock-solid partner today and connect with the mission of Marriage Today. Together, we can help couples succeed in marriage.
This program is made possible by the generous support of our faithful partners.